solve that problem.
Yeah,
That's the easiest one for us.
Yeah, that's what we do.
We can do it in 100%, 99.99% definitive, it's you,
Never seen that.
and only you. That's why I realized I'm just cyber guy you all get. So that I can do a very definitive. Matter of fact, that's what Coursera, we can tell you what we're trying to do. We believe that we have the best, most robust, vigorous identity proofing and binding method for that for you in the industry. And it's a bit off the DoD footprint, but
Yeah.
market decides that way too.
But I mean, so you're asking a very good question though, so I mean, I just wanna make
That's
sure.
where semantic is weak, by the way.
Yeah, I wanna make sure, so you're gonna know if a man
Attack
in the
surface,
middle.
my favorite attack surface is semantic.
Say that again.
You're gonna know if a man in the middle attack happened, right? Because it's not, if you're sending it to a brar, right, you're gonna get a signature back, and a man in the middle is gonna have a different signature, correct? That's how you're gonna know it was a man in the
But
middle.
because of part of the extraction is.
But I may have moved my environment literally 5 seconds after that. I'm sitting at the airport, he takes a signature on my device, the guy comes and says, you're gonna miss your flight, now I'm on another, and I'm gonna get to
But
the
yeah,
airport, but I'm
did
gonna
I
get
mention
to
the
the
fact that
doctor.
you get to filter? In other words, it takes a snapshot of the things that you get to filter on it. If you know you're gonna change location and say, well, okay, make either widen.
So let me ask you this, very simple. So I'm watching this traffic, and I'm seeing these transactions, and I'm a bad guy, and I go, you know what? I know he's taking a signature every time, and I've got an idea of the signature. I'm gonna reroute it and create the signature myself, because he's not gonna know. And then, now I'm being diverted. It's like, the
I think it is
easiest attack
understanding.
that I had, actually the worst, I should tell you, was the MX records were open, we didn't configure them. Somebody copied them and got into a system. What the hell did you guys do?
I don't think you're understanding something fundamentally. The person that you are sending this information that is your signature is not the person that's going to see it or care about it or whatever. You're gonna get it back. You understand?
Right, you said ricochet, right? It
It's
bounces
ricochet.
off and brings it
Right,
back to
and
you.
he's gonna ricochet one to you. So what's gonna happen is he's gonna send you a snapshot of himself, and you're going to encipher, you're gonna use that as one of your amulets. You're going to create your own ricochet, you're send it to him, hey, here's my ricochet. You guys got storage.
I understand that, but I'm sorry, maybe I should have articulated, because one of the parameters is GPS. I don't know how accurate it is, but if my GPS location is changing, that means my signature changes, and now I have a new set of parameters I can't trust anymore.
Okay.
Or maybe I got that wrong.
Yeah.
That's a dynamic, right? It's like
Right.
Google Maps, I'm moving
Yeah.
my.
Or on an iOS device, your MAC address changes, and all kinds of things.
Well, we can
Yeah,
spoof that
yeah,
pretty easy.
but we have, we don't, we can't.
But we're getting geeky with you, that's fine.
Okay,
We can
we'll
talk
go to the
later,
editor, the editor.
but you have a
this-
process, you're saying whereby there's trust in there, and you believe that trust is strong enough that the recipient can get that information, and you feel confident.
Yes,
about
because
that. That's what you're really saying.
The only trust relationship involved in this schema is with yourself. That's the only trust required. If I'm, in other words,
Well, I always trust myself.
I do.
You said, don't trust yourself today.
And if my wife wasn't here, I would. So, okay, with that segue, I think we can address a lot of these issues if we just go right into the email.
Part of us, I guess, part of our discussion is to understand the vulnerabilities in the system,
Yeah.
how they may be, and how will they be perceived by others, right? And then with Don, I'm with Don, right, in the user. So now my brain is saying, that this could be, I understand where you're going from music, it makes sense, because I can make music and make sure everybody's getting a copy, and I'm not getting chipped out of it, so I can keep track of it. I don't know how complicated that industry is, but if I have IP, I want to send a track and make sure it's received. That certainly is an area.
Let's go right to our, I'm sorry.
Fire up Outlook.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
Now, what we've done here is, and just to save some time, which, you didn't do a very good job, sorry. There's a many ways which you can install a system, and you have to understand our perspective is.
Is it a plugin into Outlook?
Yes. Yeah, this is a full, well, the pieces aren't all there, we're still developing, but you'll see this is a full-fledged, add-on to Outlook. Actually, we have taken it further than that, but we'll talk about that too.
Is it Office 365 or just on-prem Outlook?
Either
Just
one, we're happy to use
either one.
Express, we're just hooking the events. We actually are, what we're doing is, we're using events. Okay, the first thing that's gonna happen here is, after it's been installed, which can happen a variety of different ways, we have two audiences we have to support. We have to support the guy who wants to generate and create content, for which he's gonna pay us for the license to create the AMUmail. We also have the innocent consumer that's getting one of these emails, right? So we have to provide him a means to get this thing down for free. And so, because he has the right.
I love their stupid new one, it takes forever to kick it. Sorry,
I know, it does take
Oh,
forever.
well,
Oh,
we're
my
advocating
God.
this because it's waiting on our
Waiting
thing
on
here
it.
too.
No.
I hate it.
Okay, so the first issue here is, any of our applications that you load, or whatever, is basically, it senses its environment and then downloads on demand what it needs. So what we've determined, what's happened here is it sees that we don't have the environment installed in the machine. So any application, we have several of them, but they will all do this step, and what it's asking here is, separate and apart from this application, we need to know where you want to install the framework. It can be anywhere, we don't care where it is, but it needs to be visible to any other application.
Curveball that you're thinking, so, God, more applications, I don't know, if let's say I'm legal counsel,
Mhm.
and I gotta send something tomorrow, it's confidential, intercompany, you can do that, right? Sometimes it gets exposed.
Yeah.
Because I know our legal counsel just started to do so much encryption, what the challenge was, card expired after 2 years, right? And so she decides to get a freaking private key, throws the card away. So everything that was encrypted prior to, we couldn't
Yeah.
decrypt.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do now. Thank God we had a key management system, and it took a little while, it wasn't to recover. But those are like stupid things that.
Oh, do we have an answer for you? We actually anticipated that because we saw early on, when we first started this process, the first thing we realized
I don't need that card
is
anymore.
the Apple scenario, where the government goes to Apple and says, well, we can't encrypt, which is a terrible thing for the NSA to admit, but we can't decrypt your iPhone. I'm not sure I make that admission, but in any case, they do. They sue Apple to get a warrant, whatever. So Apple has to go and decrypt the site. Well, we said, we're not gonna do that. That sucks. So what we have done is we've said, look, we're going to allow, what we're gonna do is we're gonna build, and we can simulate, we can look into the amulet, and we can provide a tool, itself amulet protected, to the government or authorized police agencies that can say, look at the amulets that state these criteria, we'll give them the keys inside of that, and replicate this environment onto a VM. So that it will provide all the seed values that those amulets are looking for. We'll do it in a code cocoon, so it's disposable. But it will be able to, on a case-by-case basis, decipher one of our amulet enciphered things without us having to engage the government or warrants or subpoenas or whatever. So that's so that's baked into this almost from the beginning. How are we gonna solve that problem? We were more concerned about that than we were the technical side. We felt we had the technical side. So anyway, so back to this, thanks for the question. Now here what we're gonna do is we're gonna specify, independent of the Outlook, we're gonna specify a framework. Here would you go ahead and select, and we've got some correctors, just proceed here. Just look at the framework. There you go.
It's a good thing my eyes are bad, huh?
Well, mine are getting worse.
No, I just joking. Kind of really young
Okay,
here.
so let's tell us, we have,
Can't read anything, eh?
we have
That's why
our,
I walk it forward.
we have a RAM drive that we use for, I mentioned before, we have a hidden environment from the operating system. And this is telling us that we're overwriting some drivers that may be used for a previous thing. So our framework is announcing that it's launching here. Again, that's independent of the Outlook stuff. So this is not good here. How can we solve this?
Don't worry, we can, I think.
Can move it.
I just
move
steal all
around,
that
move forward
information.
A little bit too, we can push it forward.
Look at all the LinkedIn, how much time are you spending on LinkedIn?
Oh, maybe push forward.
I am.
Request has come out, it's out of nowhere.
Further under your focus.
Okay, you just need to get so they can see the reading. Okay, because you can't see the stuff.
I think part of that is the board too.
I need to see the email that's up there, and I can't.
Shove my phone underneath it there. There you go.
Okay, there we go. Okay. The only thing different from this, you have to trust us on this one. But we have this standard Outlook, Happy 2016, but the particular we use, no secret here, we use AnyExpress just to get the hooks into their events. But essentially what happens here is, this is no different than any other Outlook interface you'd ever run into. In fact, it's my, it's got my, So now what we're gonna do here is, if you go, let's go show them the, first of all, the settings, that'll give them some clue here. And we're gonna go into, this will give some idea of the environment. Okay, so one of the things, so, God, it's hard to read this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so essentially, this won't have too much meaning until later on in the thing, but this is our setting thing that where we have the idea of friendly names, where we get around some of that problem of entering all these different amulets and all that stuff. The user is allowed, we have editors that are allowed to either the content provider can provide descriptive usernames, but they might be in a different language, different country, whatever. But you can free form edit any amulets you receive because it's independent of the amulet itself. But stored with that will be descriptive information. So you'll get a list of all the ones that you've created, and you can tell who you assigned to and some various criteria there. Go ahead and that's for, these are, the idea here that we are promoting is that you will have people you're going to send emails to consistently. That you will want to use their ricochet amulet, their consistent environment, you know what it is. Maybe it's just set to the corporate domain, which they have their corporate account if it's a new person. But in essence, you'll have these associations with a recipient to an email and the amulets you want to use to encipher their email body typically and their attachments. So you will have a list of those over time that you will accumulate. And so this list will pop up when you have a new thing, or you'll see something we have rush delivery, which is simply click, you can do a security email in one click. And that's because all these things are aggregated, it's learning. It's constantly learning your behaviors and gathering things up, giving you the opportunity to give this descriptive information as you go. So that's all collected here. This is for the assignments. This is the relationship of a given recipient to a given set of amulets can be aggregated. They can be compounded to form different security venues, security images. But all the amulets we would want to use, the specific sender address, for example, my account, I have multiple accounts, some test accounts, so I can associate this only to be visible to me only when I'm sending from a specific account. So you can do some filtering